Hey guys, it's Adam. I want to take a moment and personally thank you for listening to our shows, for downloading our shows, and for sharing them with your friends. With your guys' support, we just moved the Twisted 10 into the threshold of the top 100 comedy shows in iTunes. It made it to number 99, granted, just barely crept in there. However, that's still monumental for us. Out of the tens of thousands of podcasts that are out there, that's one of the most difficult categories to breach into. Thank you very, very much for helping us to get there. If you haven't already done so, please go give us a 5-star rating and give us a review, a short little 1-line, 2-line review, letting us know that you enjoy the show. iTunes reviews are like podcast currency. It legitifies the show, it allows us to get better guests, and it allows our sponsors to really see that we're reaching the listeners that are out there. If you haven't done so yet, please go do it. We would greatly appreciate it. We've got a ton on the horizon from Dichotomy Media, a lot more on our YouTube channel, more Get Out Penny cartoons, all sorts of stuff. So please help us by giving us that 5-star rating and a little review. Thank you very much and enjoy the show.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All 3 engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to the Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle, Adam Poston, Jay Alvarez, and me, Andrea Joy.
And welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10.
Hi, hi.
Oh, yeah. I'm Adam. I'm one of your regular hosts. However, I'm not your host this week. Sitting over on the Lady Chase.
Hi, I'm Andrea Joy, and I am not one of your hosts this week.
Uh-oh. Jay is out, by the way. I know I'm jumping ahead of you, Tack.
It's okay.
But Jay is out. There's no Jay this week. His tummy's not feeling very good.
Aww.
You know what, though? That's pretty good. I'm kind of, you know what? If somebody's sick,
Just kidding.
I kind of prefer them not to come over. You know what I mean? Not to spread that germ.
Yeah, I don't want to be sick. By the way, I'm Tach. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Tack.
Hi, Tach.
Hi.
Jay's obviously not a host. He's
No,
not here.
Jay's not the host.
I don't have
And-
Skype up.
Are you sure?
No Skype up.
Can't see it.
I can't see it.
Nope.
Oh, I'm the host. I'm the host this week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Goddamn, it's been like, what, 3 months since you've hosted one of these?
Yeah. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
And I've been wanting to do one for so long, but Adam, you wouldn't let me.
You see our group calendar. It ain't just me.
I know. Okay, so welcome to the Twisted 10. If this is your first time coming on or listening to the show, what we do here...
Gross.
What we do here is we create an original top 10 list.
Number 10. Oh, that wasn't...
We're not there yet.
Oh.
We create an original top 10 list. Sometimes we have guest hosts that come in through Skype or in the studio or what have you. And we create an original top 10 list. And then what we do with that, Adam, is we take that list, we pack it up in a bag nice and tight.
Yeah.
Nice and tight. Then we put it in the trunk of our car. And then we drive...
That's exactly what he sounds like.
When I'm pooping.
Gross. And then we take that bag and we drive it from here to Kentucky.
Like Kentucky?
Like,
Kentucky.
what part? Like Frankfurt?
No,
That's
God,
Germany.
No, that's like it's like an hour east of that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and we drive it there, and then we get out and we take that bag and we hand it off. We hand it off to Billy Bob Schmeineys.
Joe Sean? Schmeineys.
Yeah.
I know the
Schmeineys.
Schmeineys.
You know them?
They run a butter churning factory.
And they take our list. It's in a bag. They take it. You should know them. We've done this like 6 times now. And they take the Schmeineys take the list, and then they put it on a boat. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with this.
A boat in Kentucky?
Yeah, it's a lake, and they take it to the other side of the lake.
Oh.
Anywho, we bring an original top 10 list and we talk about it, we break it down, and we just hack it up.
You know I'm going to cut out all that other stuff, right?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
Aw,
I'm not.
you're so mean.
Andrea, he looked so sad when I said
He
that.
worked all afternoon on that.
I did. Couldn't you tell?
And the Schmeineys was very well thought out, wasn't it?
You don't know the Schmeineys? Maybe he should start taking this Kentucky trip.
Yeah, they're my kin. No.
Are they?
You know the Micans too?
No.
Are they your gingerkin?
Hey, that's racist. All right, so what I brought a list here for us to break down. Okay.
Number 10.
We're not there yet. Okay, so my list tonight. Are we at that point already?
We're at
really
it, yeah.
fast.
Well, we don't have a guest to talk about what they do, where they come
That's
from,
true.
those kinds of things.
Where do you do? Where do you come from?
My name is Tach.
He likes long walks on the beach.
Yep.
Oh, he doesn't know burn.
And men are at night.
Okay.
I still enjoy them, just not during the day.
Okay.
And backgammon and men who aren't afraid to cry. Sorry, it's a line from Airplane. And I'm a podcaster. You should check out my show. It's called The
Really?
Twisted 10 is a show I'm on,
Ooh.
as well as Living Podcariously
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
and You're 40 Now What. So check those out. And we also, the people I do a couple podcasts with, we created a cartoon that we do. It's called Get Out Penny. So go check that out on YouTube.
Wow. I'm going to go right now.
And he launches spaceship into the outer space. But, that's neither here nor here. Neither here
sort
nor
of.
there.
Okay, so the list I brought tonight is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've been wanting to do this list for a long time.
Oh, boy.
So I hope nobody has any...
Objections?
Well, okay.
Growths?
Yeah, I hope nobody has any gross
STDs.
STD.
I hope nobody has any...
Sudden deafness?
No.
That's an
You
interesting
don't
one.
hope that we don't have that?
No, I do.
You hope we do have that?
No, I do.
Oh, jeez.
So the list I brought...
Sudden acute deafness syndrome. That makes me so sad.
What?
That got it. I see what you're doing,
What?
too.
You guys? I can't hear anything.
Oh, boy,
Oh,
she's got it.
turn her back up over there, Tach.
Number 10.
We're not there yet.
Oh.
Okay, so the top 10 list I have tonight is top 10. What's wrong? Oh, okay. The top 10, I just like to throw Twisted in there because that's the name of the show. Top 10 Twisted serial killers.
Oh, I like it.
Yes, this is the heavy hitters, as they like to refer to them as.
Okay.
Captain Crunch, Golden Grams.
Right, that's right. They murder them.
Oof.
But first, I like to talk about a little bit about serial killers. Okay,
All right.
so
This chair's noisy. Sorry.
it's okay. So, what makes it a serial killer versus just somebody who kills a few people?
They do it
Right.
more than once.
Lots of them.
They have a similar
MO
Style?
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
They also have to be like, if I go out and murder 6 people within an hour, I'm not considered a serial killer.
Really?
It has to be, I think, within a 3-month span or something like that.
So if you kill 6 people an hour for 3 months, then you're okay?
Then I'm a serial killer.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, as long as there's also something, tying them together somehow, So, and then another thing I like to talk about, there's 2 types of serial killers, okay? One is what's called a product killer.
product killer.
That's for the cereal
there's-
that you eat.
Do you get toys in some of them?
There's 2 kinds. There's called a product and a process killer, okay?
Okay.
So a product killer is only killing for a purpose, like whether to have the body, to do something with the body, or to do something. I didn't do it.
The cat was rubbing it. I saw
I
her
know.
doing it. Hang on, I'll go. Carry on, sir.
Okay.
Repeat that maybe.
Okay, so yeah, product and process killer. A product killer is a person that wants the product at the end, so kills for the purpose of having a product. Or,
Like a finger?
yeah, a finger or the body itself.
Something
or,
for their collection.
Exactly, correct. And then there's a process killer where they only do it because they love killing. So, and sometimes product killers don't necessarily like the killing, but they like the product afterwards. That's what they're shooting for. And a process killers just love the killing and don't give a shit about the body or anything afterwards. Okay?
All right.
So remember that, and we're going to talk more about that as we go through the list.
Will there be a test?
Sort of.
Good
I will
question.
ask a question at the end. At the end of each one, I will go through and ask you, is this a process or a product killer?
Wait, what was what? Give me the
Nope, he
Cliff's
should
Notes
have
version.
listened. Nope, he should have listened.
Ah,
Nope.
What's the Cliff's Notes
He'll
version real
figure
quick?
it out eventually.
Product?
Listen to the show.
Yeah, listen to the episode. A product killer, for the 3rd time, is somebody, when they kill somebody, they do something with the body.
Ooh, okay.
So they like the product of having the body. whether it's, like she said, to have something for a collection.
Like
or
a diorama.
Yeah. And then there's the process killer, somebody who just enjoys killing and doesn't care about the body afterwards.
Cool.
Okay, so are we ready?
I feel like an episode of CSI.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Yes. I can't do it as good as Jay. Sorry.
We're going to start with Ted Bundy.
Ooh, okay. Didn't he sell shoes and have a redheaded wife and a hot daughter?
That's Al.
That's
This
Youre.
is his cousin.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Ted Bundy was born in 1946 in Vermont. He was born only to his mother. He never knew his real father.
I was going to say, a father needed to help there somewhere.
Yeah, but he never met him.
Okay.
He was actually raised by his grandparents, and he was actually told that his grandparents were actually his real parents. He didn't find out till years later that his grandparents were actually his grandparents. What?
What?
Oh, you're like looking around for something.
Thought I heard something.
Oh.
I do.
It's bugs.
Oh, yeah, that's cicadas.
Okay.
I'll cut that out. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Man, don't get distracted if I'm not looking right at you. If I stopped every time I hosted a show because somebody was not paying attention, we would never get through a fucking night. Ever. Especially Jay. I'm picking
Tach
on
just
him.
wants your attention.
I know.
Okay, you got
Well, no, when you're going
Well,
I'm thinking like
it sounded
something's
almost
wrong.
like her vape was hot. Like it was
Oh,
lit,
gotcha.
like going.
It's in
and
my
then
purse.
part of me looking around, which distracted him, was noticing, oh, it's right there. It couldn't possibly be that. So then I continued to look for mine. There it is. And then that derailed the show.
I'm glad we know exactly what happened.
It's a play-by-play.
So Bundy was regarded as being very handsome and charismatic.
Ooh, la, la.
Don't.
Women easily took to him and earned their trust very quickly. Now, he had murdered 30 plus women. Okay, so Bundy's MO was he would approach his victims in the public most of the time, sometimes dressed as a police officer or some sort of authority figure, or a neighbor, and he would pretend like he needed help. Like, can you help me move this couch into the back of my rickety van? You know, kind of a thing.
I always help guys do that.
Yeah. So after the murder, this is a murder sample.
Okay.
After the murder and sexual assault, he sometimes revisited his secondary crime scenes for hours at a time, grooming and performing sexual acts with the decomposing corpses
Gross.
until
That's hot.
petrifaction and destruction by wild animals made further interaction impossible.
Rigor mortis is petrifaction.
Gotcha. He decapitated at least 12 of his victims and kept some of the severed heads in his apartment for a period of time as mementos.
So
Process.
I was going to say
Okay,
process.
that's not till the end.
Oh.
On a few occasions, he simply broke into dwellings at night and bludgeoned his victims as they slept. In 1989, he was executed by electric chair.
I meant to say product.
Now, I'm also going through these very quickly because we have a short. I could do a whole hour on each of these guys.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
So
Easily.
So, process or product killer?
Product.
Product killer.
Product
like those
killer,
heads.
indeed.
You like banging those dead ladies.
Indeed.
And keeping their head.
Gross. Yeah, and keeping their heads. What did he do with the heads, you think?
Blowjobs.
Blowjobs?
Quite possible, yeah. I'm sure.
Or bowling. I mean,
Well, once it got too hard to open the mouth,
yeah, that's a good point.
then that was placed for his hand for the bowling ball.
How's it go again? Open your mouth again. Oh.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
Number 9.
Number 9.
9. 9!
Jack the Ripper.
Ooh.
Do you guys know anything about Jack the Ripper?
A little bit. Actually, I think I listened to a time suck on Jack the Ripper.
Oh, that's true. I
Dan
forgot.
Cummins time suck on that.
Exactly.
And he goes into some pretty deep details about this. So
There's tons of stuff about this guy. Okay, he's also known as the Whitechapel Killer, also known as Leather Apron.
Leather
fun-
Apron?
Yeah. In 1888, he is believed to have murdered 11 victims between 1888 and 1891.
All right.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Jack the Ripper was never caught. So
He's still out there.
I
he's
did know
still
that.
out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So
His
it's a good thing we don't live in London.
there's lots and lots of theories on
There's
who it
tons
could
of
be.
theories.
And again, not to derail you a little bit, but the time suck that Dan Cummins did goes so deep down that rabbit hole of
Oh, yeah.
who he feels, like who Dan feels in his opinion, just based on the facts, is Jack the Ripper.
Right. And I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts. So I've listened to tons of shows talking about serial killers and specifically Jack the Ripper. I've listened to at least 4 shows talking about Jack the Ripper and their theories as well. So his MO is he attacks typically involved female prostitutes who lived and worked in the slums of East End of London, whose throats were cut and prior to abdominal mutilations.
Ouch.
The removal of internal organs from at least 3 victims led to proposals that the killer was possibly like medically trained because it was done so perfectly. And I think he did too. Is like he liked to like write letters to like Scotland Yard and shit like that. And so hold on a second. He liked to like taunt the media and taunt the police and shit like that. And he would even, I think he was even like trying to go by the leather apron because it just sounded cooler. But they were like, no, Jack the Ripper.
Was there a reason behind the name of the leather apron? That just seems
I
odd to
forget
me.
why. I forgot to look that part up. I think it's because he actually wore like a leather apron for like while he murdered and stuff to keep. I think something like that.
Or perhaps he was a butcher and part of his normal work attire was a leather apron that he would wear
Possibly.
to work. One of the potential suspects of being Jack the Ripper was a butcher.
Yeah. So of course this is the quick version. So product or process killer.
So he meticulously took the body parts out that he wanted.
But
However, they were all there, though. Did he keep? I don't think he kept the body parts, did he? Like there weren't
I don't
organs
think
that were
we
missing.
know.
They were there, but they were just taken out.
The removal of internal organs from at least 3 victims. Throats were cut. Abdominal mutilations.
I'm going to say process.
I'm actually going to oppose you. I'm going to go product, and here's why. Because he gets so involved with the media at the time, he is more fascinated with the stories behind him than he is with maybe the murder. Maybe not. Than the murders themselves. He's not killing just to have that exhilaration of killing someone. He wants that attention. He wants that.
Wouldn't that be more process than product?
I would say he's a process killer. I don't.
Damn it.
That's just me. I'm not saying right or wrong. That's just my opinion. It sounds to me like more of a process killer.
Because it almost sounds to me the product out of this that he would get is the attention.
But that's a process.
This is all speculation. Not speculation, but this is all just a discussion. So there's no right or
Attention's not
wrong,
a
really.
collection.
Did I understand the definition of
No,
process
you're
and
good.
product? What's process then?
Process the enjoy the killing. That's what they. Why they
so
do
this
it.
would be, in my opinion, would be product. The product that he's getting is the attention that he's getting from the
And
media.
that's an interesting take. You're not wrong. There's no right or wrong.
Oh, see, I'm right.
I didn't say you're right
You
either.
didn't say you were right.
I just said you're not wrong.
Damn.
So
I'm not wrong. Ooh.
no, you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong either.
No, I never.
Ooh.
But that's not.
Burn.
How did she do that? She just flipped the script. Like complete 180. Women. Tach. Jeez.
Am I right?
You're right.
Take my girlfriend, please. All right. Number 8.
Number 8.
8.
Now this one's fun. Okay. Number 8 is H.H. Holmes.
Yes.
So he was born as Herman Webster Mudgett. No idea why he changed
Poor
his
guy.
name.
Poor guy.
I love Mudgett.
In 1861.
Mudgett sounds like a stew you would get in England around the circa 1650. Right? Mudgett. What are you eating tonight? We're eating Mudgett stew.
Sounds just like it.
Okay.
He was one of the first documented American serial killers. Holmes was famous for insurance fraud, cons, as well as a bigamist as well. Kind of a fun story that I had heard on a show. One of the many cons and insurance things that he did is he'd gotten a huge safe put into his house. It's one of them huge like walk-in safes like banks have and shit, like a vault. And of course, he got it with credit and had it installed. And then when it was time to pay, he never paid his bills, like never.
Uh-oh.
And so when they were like, "Okay, you owe us for this payment,"
Is his name Adam Poston? No, I'm kidding.
And he's like, "Well, I mean, I'm not paying you. Well, then we're going to take it back. Go ahead. It's inside my house. But if you destroy any of my walls, I'm suing your ass." And he threatened to sue them if they did any destruction on his home to get their safe back, which they would have to take out walls to get their safe back. And so they ended up just dropping the case.
Oh, wow.
And he would do this like, okay, well, let me keep moving forward. Holmes was also most famous for his murder castle that he built in Chicago. Okay, so to recap, a quick version of it is he built this huge fucking house. They call it murder castle. Well, it's not really a castle. It's just a large, huge mansion type home. And he would, and it was a mystery house. So like things didn't make sense. So there would be stairs that led to nowhere. There would be doors that didn't go anywhere. It was just weird mystery shit. Everything from trap doors to just weird shit. And he did this on purpose. So people would purposely get lost. But he also used it as kind of like a bed and breakfast kind of a thing too. Because a huge event was coming up, which was the World's Fair in Chicago.
That's right.
And so he took advantage of this. A lot of out-of-towners coming in.
To get murdered.
To get murdered? What are you going to Chicago for?
Murder?
I'm going to the World's Fair.
Murder.
Well, no, you're going for murder. Right? So
to be murdered.
And what he would do is he would hire contractors to build portions of the house. So there wasn't somebody that knew the entire layout. He would hire them to build a certain portion, then he would fire them and not pay them. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, he got the whole house built
They
for
got
basically
to live.
nothing. Yeah. Well, not everybody got to live. So, and he would also build like gas chambers, like, air locked rooms and shit like that, where he would basically guests would come in, he would put them in the room, lock them, and then gas them and just like enjoy watching it.
That's what I call Dutch ovening Andrea. Taking her to the gas chamber.
I would never let you do that. You would never wake up the next day.
He's also a big bigamist as well. So another thing he would do is he would take staff. He hired a lot of women. And of course, he was a very good-looking man too. He was also very persuasive, and women just fell in love with him pretty quickly. And so he would be dating a chick or whatever, or even get married to her, and then get an insurance policy on her, and then kill her.
Damn.
And collect insurance money. And he would be married to a couple of women at once, and they would never know, because he would do this and then send them off, because maybe he was in business with them as well. Well, I'm going to send you to over there for a while, and then you meet some other chick.
Go to Africa.
Yeah. And then, so he did a lot of insurance fraud too. And it wasn't just women too. If I hired you on a staff, I'm going to get an insurance policy on you. And they're, okay, and he would, and then he would murder him and collect insurance money.
Damn.
Smart. You
Wait,
were thinking it too.
I have an insurance policy, Andrea. You're listed as a beneficiary. Don't you get any crazy ideas?
Did you eat that cookie brownie for your birthday yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So, like, when we started Dichotomy Media, is that why you got us all insurance policies?
You're goddamn right. They call me Adam H.H. Holmes Poston.
Holmes used the World's Fair to get victims to stay in his castle and would murder them by toxic gas. That's just one of the many ways he did it. And send them down he had a body chute down below as well, like
you
in the
would
basement.
need one at Murder Castle, duh.
I think I did that on spring break one year when I was 21.
You went down the Murder Castle body chute?
A body shoot. I did a body shoot. It's where somebody poured liquor in a girl's
body
belly
shot.
button.
Ho, ho, ho.
And then I sucked it out of her.
So funny. I forgot to laugh.
I didn't know where he was going with that. I was like, what? He confessed to 27 murders. However, due to the circumstances, the number is actually unknown. Some speculate into the hundreds, and others say that it may have been less.
Wow. So,
he did die. He was executed in 1896 at age 34.
Man,
so
young man.
Yeah. So product
he did
of process
so much
killer.
with his life.
He did. He accomplished a lot.
And a small amount.
And what I'm really excited about too is there's a movie coming out.
Mm.
And you know who's going to play H.H. Holmes in the movie? Who do you think
Johnny Depp?
You're not far off. Close. Well, let's give you a hint. It's going to be directed by Martin Scorsese. So you know it's going to be fucking good.
Who's the actor?
That's what
That's
we're
what I'm
trying to
asking.
guess.
I don't know.
Have you
Who do you
not
think
been
is gonna
listening to
play-
the show?
I don't know Martin Scorsese movie. Help me out here.
Who's his go-to actor that's in all of his fucking movies?
Why don't you name one for me? I don't know a Scorsese film
name the
by
right
the
one.
director.
The Departed.
Never saw it.
Holy shit, dude! You have to see that fucking movie.
I've never seen The
It's
Departed.
so good. I can't think of all.
The suspense is killing
I will
me.
just give you. It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
So-
okay. Oh, and I also never saw the one with the bear.
Oh, he'll be home.
I never saw that one either.
What's that one called?
Paddington Bear.
No. The one with Leonardo DiCaprio in the wilderness and he's
Teddy.
fighting a bear.
Teddy.
Ted.
Ted, yeah.
Hey, how's your mother?
Oh, A Bear in the
Say your
Jungle.
mom for
That
me.
would be the Jungle Book.
No.
Baloo.
Okay, so I think I'm not sure when it's coming out. I think it's still in pre-production, but there definitely is an
So
H.H.
he's going to
Holmes.
play H.H. Holmes?
Yes. I think
Really?
it's perfectly casted. He'll do awesome.
Process.
Very good. So, what do you say? Process, product?
I might be reading into this too much, but it seems like he's killing everybody for tangible gains, i.e. these insurance policies, or for whatever the reason. I'd say product, because
So
he's
this-
That's not a
bacteria.
collection.
Money is a good collection.
money's a great
Yeah, but
collection.
it's not like of the dead body or of his kill.
True.
He kills for the fun of
Did
killing.
he define it as process or product has to collect something off of the body?
That's
or
kind of an
something
example
from the killing.
yeah.
I think he was doing it for tangible
I
gains.
say process, but I think you have a good point as well.
But then it would make his previous answer should be process too, because that's for tangible gains.
Product for
Yeah,
tangible gains.
But you said
s-
it was process in the last one.
No, he said product.
I said product on the last
Because the
one, baby.
product was for notoriety. and
Right.
Oh,
everything,
okay. So he's just sticking with product for everything. Got it. All right.
Why she being
Oh,
mean?
I see. He's just saying it every time.
What? I don't-
Okay, that way 50% of the time he's right.
Yeah.
Why are you so mean?
She's just fucking with you. All right, moving on.
All right.
God, I can do an hour on each of these. I'm telling you, there's so many stories to tell. Number 7,
Number 7.
7.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Ooh.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Nice.
So he was born in Wisconsin in 1960.
Wisconsin.
He was also gay and struggled being gay in the 1980s, which is hard. And some even speculate that if he was alive today at that age, he probably wouldn't have been a serial killer. Just saying.
Not as much.
Just because
Acceptance?
because it's more accepted now than it was.
Not
He
as much
just wanted to
repression.
be
Yeah.
accepted.
Let's see. Although diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, what the hell?
Schizo. What the hell?
Schizo what the hell? Oh my God, that's horrible.
Schizotypal personality disorder. I don't know. And a psychotic disorder. Dahmer was found to be legally sane at his trial. Convicted of 15 of the 16 murders he had committed in Wisconsin, Dahmer was sentenced to 15 terms of life imprisonment on February 15, 1992. He was later sentenced to a 16th term of life imprisonment for additional homicide he committed in 1978.
Damn. He's still in prison, isn't he? Or did he die?
I'm going to go over that.
Okay.
His MO in 1987, this is an example of one of his killings. I think this was his first murder. You guys holding hands?
She's rubbing my hand.
Oh, that's precious. In 1987, he encountered a 25-year-old named Stephen Tuomi at a bar and persuaded him to return to the Ambassador Hotel, where Dahmer had rented a room for the evening. According to Dahmer, he had no intentions of murdering him, but simply intended to drug and rape him as he lay unconscious, because he has morals.
Yeah.
The following morning, however, he awoke to find Tuomi lying beneath him on the bed, his chest crushed in and blood seeping from his mouth.
He had really rough sex.
Yeah, with bruises on Dahmer's own fists and one forearm. Dahmer stated he had absolutely no memory of having killed Tuomi, and later informed investigators that he simply could not believe this had happened. To dispose of the body, he purchased a large suitcase in which he transported the body to his grandmother's residence. There, 1 week later, he severed the head, arms, and legs from the torso, then filleted the bones from the body before cutting the flesh into pieces small enough to handle.
God damn.
He then placed the flesh inside plastic garbage bags. He wrapped the bones inside a sheet and pounded them into splinters with a sledgehammer. The entire dismemberment process took Dahmer approximately 2 hours to complete, and all the remains, including the severed head, were disposed of in the trash.
Whoa. 2 hours?
Yeah.
I want you to think about this. That means you killing somebody and then filleting them, then pounding their bones into splinters.
He's a workhorse,
That's
First he took it to his grandma's though.
That's fast.
For a total of 2 weeks following Tuomi's murder, Dahmer retained the victim's head wrapped in a blanket. After 2 weeks, Dahmer boiled the head in a mixture of Soilex, an alkaline-based industrial detergent, and bleach in an effort to retain the skull, which he then used as a stimulus for masturbation. Eventually, the skull was rendered too brittle for this bleaching process and was also pulverized and disposed of.
Damn.
Obviously, he was very famous for eating his victims. So,
Yeah.
And he would even do things as far as, like, he would cut off penises and then just use that, like, masturbate with and suck on, things like that, you know?
Guy's a little fucked in the head.
Yes. Well, I got stories here. Okay, so at the end, he died. He was beaten to death by a fellow inmate in 1994. Product or process? This one's pretty...
Product.
Absolutely product.
Well,
Told you he always picks
I'm going to go
product.
process on this one just to disagree with Andrew. No, I'm kidding.
No, he was
If you're gonna pick
100%.
product, you always pick it.
This is product for sure.
Yeah, he is like a perfect example of a product killer. Yeah, because he actually hated killing. He admitted it. He actually had to get drunk in order to do it. So he also had a drinking problem too. So he would go out to bars and get drunk, and then he would pick up a guy. So most of the time he'd be pretty hammered when he murdered somebody. So when he's talking about he doesn't remember it, most likely he blacked out from alcohol.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So he actually hated killing, didn't like it, but loved the product. That's what got him off, and it sexually pleased him. So,
Freak.
What was kind of funny too is that he lived in the ghetto, which is kind of funny. He was like the only white man within like a 3-mile radius.
That's why you always fear the normal-looking guy in the ghetto. Always fear that guy.
And all
Not
the
to say-
neighbors were like, I had no idea. You know, it's like, he was always so quiet. I just thought that was kind of a little funny tidbit. Any questions on Dahmer?
No, I'm good.
Is he alive? He's still alive.
No,
in
I
prison.
said
he was
it.
killed in 1984.
He was
1994.
1994. He beaten to death
1980
by another
94.
inmate.
94.
Yeah. Number 6,
Number
Six.
6.
BTK killer.
Yes.
Do you guys know anything about BTK?
Yep,
Nothing.
I watched lots of documentaries on that
Oh,
one.
yeah?
Yep.
You know what
Bind 'em,
BTK stands
kill 'em,
for?
tie 'em.
What's BTK stand for?
Bind them, kill them,
That's BK.
wait,
She's on the right path, though.
tie them.
BTK.
Do you want me to just tell you?
Bind, tie, kill.
Close.
That's what I said first.
No, you said bind,
Close.
kill.
It's not tie, it's a torture.
Torture.
Bind, torture,
Bind,
kill.
torture, kill. Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, so BTK killer was born as Dennis Lynn Rader in 1945 in Kansas. He had 10 victims between 74 to 91. He loved taunting police with letters as well, signing the name BTK. BTK stands for bind, torture, kill. In his letters to police, Rader asked if his writings... this is actually kind of funny. Okay, so he liked to write lots of letters and stuff to the police, taunting them and things like that. So I thought this was pretty funny. Okay, so in his letters to police, Rader asked if his, I guess for his writings, if he put it on a floppy disk, could it be traced? Like he asked the police this. If I put my stuff on a disk and give it to you, can you trace that?
No.
The police answered his question in a newspaper because that's how they talked. And posted it in whatever newspaper and said that it would be safe to use a disk. It's fine. It was not traceable. On February 16, 2005, Rader sent a purple 1.44 megabyte Memorex floppy disk to Fox TV affiliate KSAS TV in Wichita. And of course, the police traced the disk and discovered the whereabouts of him. And now he's currently serving time or life in prison, 10 consecutive life sentences, 175 years.
Damn.
So yeah.
Wait, so they consider life only 17.5 years long?
That's
sometimes
stupid.
you can get life in prison, which is I think roughly like 25 plus years or whatever, and then of course get out on parole. You can be out in like 15 years. When you get technically life in prison, really only means 10 to 15 years. Really, of course, it's all in good behavior.
That's not much life
Not
gone.
life. So I mean, if he's serving 175 years, so
He might make it.
yeah. So fingers crossed. So that is number 6. So now what we do here is we're going to take a little break.
Process.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Yes, thank you.
Ooh.
I forgot to write that down.
Bind.
Process or product killer?
Torture and kill. You didn't say anything about him keeping anything. So
No.
his was all about the kill.
Yeah,
So yeah, he is a process killer.
process killer.
Copycat.
What? So mean.
So when we come back, a little teaser for you. When we come back, we're going to hear about female serial killer. It's not just the boys.
She's gonna chop off that dick.
Crazy bitch.
All right, we'll be right back.
Hey, Tach, you ever have that conversation with your girl about where to eat dinner and it always turns into that back and forth? I don't know, you pick.
Yeah, every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got an answer for you next time that comes up.
Oh, yeah? We're at...
The Salty Fox in Melbourne off of Oak Alley Boulevard.
Oh, nice. You know, I've actually been there, and the food was pretty awesome.
Hell yeah, it was. They offer a great selection of paninis, shareable appetizers, soups and salads, and one of the best desserts I've ever had, the Funky Monkey.
Oh, yeah, my favorite was the vintage options. They got this meal called ramen noodle on crack. You just got to try it out.
Done. That's definitely what I'm getting next time.
Put the fun between your legs at the Salty Fox every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with the Oak Alley Arts District Bike Crawl.
It's a 4-mile bicycle ride down Pineapple Avenue with stops for food and beer all along the route. Be sure to visit the Salty Fox every Sunday for brunch from 11 to 4.
Hey, isn't that the $10 bottomless mimosas brunch?
Sure is. Enjoy your brunch while the Salty Fox's DJ spins throwbacks and top 40 hits.
Salty Fox is located in the downtown Oak Alley Art District on Oak Alley Boulevard.
Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/saltyfoxmelbourne or online at thesaltyfox.net.
Hey listeners, be sure to mention you heard about the Salty Fox on our show and you'll get 10% off your meals.
Village Idiot Pub. You locals know about it. You guys from out of town have to check them out.
Village Idiot Pub is now a proud sponsor with Living Podcariously and the Twisted 10 podcasts.
It's more than just about commercials, though. The cast here will be taking our show on the road to Village Idiot to record some episodes as well as hold events. They have over 30 beers on tap, including ciders and Hefeweizen, my favorite, as well as hundreds of bottle choices.
Adam, you forgot my favorite, all the delicious wine. So get your friends together and enjoy the board games, puzzles, and the giant Jenga.
Let the owner, Jason, as well as the rest of the staff there, take excellent care of your beer drinking needs.
Mention either one of our shows to the staff and get 10% off your tab.
Tuesday is open mic, Wednesday is trivia, Thursday is karaoke, Friday and Saturday night are live music.
Visit them at 4 Harrison Street, Suite 103, Cocoa, Florida, or Village Idiot Pub on Facebook. And don't forget, they are a dog-friendly location, so bring your friends, family, and fur babies.
Do you like sci-fi, AI, and technology? Do you enjoy going on tangents and down random rabbit holes of a subject? Then join me and my friends each week on Brokebot Mountain as some artificially intelligent people attempt to walk through a maze that explores themes of existence and free thought in sci-fi TV, movies, and books. The conversations are unique and bring an unusual perspective to the genre and can literally go anywhere. And we do mean anywhere. You can find us at blazingcariboustudios.com or look for Brokebot Mountain on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, or anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Hey, it's Adam. If you enjoy the hosts or the content of The Twisted 10, be sure to check out our other show. It's called Living Podcariously. While The Twisted 10 may get crass and explicit occasionally, it holds no water to Living Podcariously. We do get a little bit more rough and raw on that show. We have a lot of fun producing it and have had some awesome guests. And as always, thanks for listening.
And welcome back to the Twisted 10. We're talking about serial killers in this episode, Andrea.
Serial killers?
Serial killers.
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
So to recap, the 10 through 6, we had number 10 was Ted Bundy. Number 9 was Jack the Ripper.
Marriage, love and
Number 8 was H.H. Holmes. Number 7 was Jeffrey Dahmer. And number 6 was the BTK killer.
bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Oh, yeah.
Which brings us to number 5.
Sink.
5. What did you say?
Sink.
Sink.
Oh.
Sink.
Oh?
Sink.
Oh? Cinco?
Sink.
Well, okay then.
All right. So number 5 is, Andrea guessed it during the break, it is Eileen Wuornos.
Mm-hmm.
She is going to be the only woman in this list. Not that there weren't other women serial killers, but...
Crazy bitch.
Yeah. So she was born in Michigan in 1956.
Well, there's her problem. I'm sorry.
She has 7 victims between 1989 and 1990. Her MO is all her victims were men. She claimed that her first victim was self-defense, claiming that he tried to rape her, and so she shot him and left his body in a wooded area. All of her victims she had shot and then left their body somewhere. A couple of them, I think, were never found.
Were they in place? Well, that was going to be part of my question. Were they set in places that are she would have expected somebody to find them, like in a public park? Or...
No, she just wasn't good at hiding them.
Okay.
Yeah. She's basically just shot him and left him.
Okay.
Some were even found on the side of the road. So, obviously, there's a movie made about this too. Call it,
It's easy for you to say.
Charlize Theron and Christina Ricci starred in a movie called Monster.
Oh, I didn't know that was based on her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
That's when Charlize Theron got fugly.
Yeah.
But she looks exactly like her. Though. It's awesome. But yeah, that was like her thing. Like, and it was also Florida based as well. So,
Yes. Crazy.
Yep. Welcome to Florida.
She'd
We have
pretend
our
to
own
be a
serial killer.
prostitute
Yep.
and get there when the guys would want to sleep with her, then she would kill them.
It's the best reason not to go to a prostitute.
But she was more of like a lot lizard, though.
She would be at the truck stops, right?
Yeah. Truckers were a lot of her victims, or a few of their victims, and yeah. Mostly people on the road. So. And she died of a lethal injection in Florida in 2002 at the age of 46.
Wow. Not
Bye,
very long
Felicia.
ago.
Nope. Product of process.
Process.
Obviously,
Yeah.
process. And somebody even speculates saying, I don't even know, because
If she was doing something with the bodies, that'd be different. If she was setting them up in some sort of...
definitely not a product killer. For
position.
sure, not a product killer.
She was killing them because they were raping women by having sex with
Well,
prostitutes.
She
in
would
her
also
mind.
try to justify her murders like that, too.
Okay.
But
All right.
it wasn't, she was a straight up monster. She was,
Gotcha.
She was a terrible person. So that was number 5.
All right.
Number 4.
Cat.
Okay.
What are you counting in?
I don't,
French.
French. Okay.
John Wayne Gacy.
Ooh, okay.
He was born in 1942 in Chicago and was an American serial killer and rapist. He sexually assaulted, tortured, and murdered at least 33 teenage boys and young men between 72 and 78. Those are years, not ages. In Illinois. So as he is also known as like the killer clown as well, because he did Pogo the clown. That was like, you'll find pictures of him online where he's wearing the clown makeup, and that picture of him online in the clown makeup, that's not him trying to be creepy. Like, he didn't really murder people in the clown makeup.
Right.
That was a side job he actually did. He actually was for children's birthday parties. He was a
Now
clown.
that's a little bit fucked up.
Yeah. All of Gacy's known murders were committed inside his Northwood Park ranch house. His victims were typically lured to his address by force of or deception. And all but one of his victims were murdered by either asphyxiation or strangulation with a makeshift tourniquet. His first victim was stabbed to death. Gacy buried 26 of his victims in a crawl space of his home.
26?
Yes. 3 other victims were buried elsewhere on his property, while the bodies of his last 4 known victims, were discarded in the Des Plaines River.
He was running out of room.
Yeah. Okay, and so he died of lethal injection in 1994 at the age of 54.
Did he die in a studio?
I don't get it.
Studio 54.
Oh. He was the age of 54.
Product, if he's keeping the bodies.
Yeah, I would say he's a product killer as well.
But he got rid of some.
It's because you nailed it. He ran out of room.
He must have run out
So
of
what
space.
did he just keep them not because he wanted the collection of bodies, just because he didn't know where to put them, and then he ran out of room and just moved on to put them somewhere else? Like
He was putting them under the house in the
he
crawl
didn't
space?
really care
Yeah,
if they were
crawl
in
space.
there. Did he care? Did he go back and look at those bodies though, or was it kind of out of sight, out of mind?
I don't remember all that.
I think-
those are good questions.
I think what he literally did is he started putting them in his RV and then chopping them up, and then he saw his brother-in-law Clark out front while he was emptying his RV into the drain and said, "It's like, morning, Clark, shitter's full."
I was wondering where you were going with this. I was like,
It's a long way to get there, but you know what I did.
Nice.
all right, so moving on. Number 3.
Toi.
Wow, indeed.
Twat.
Number 2 is Richard Ramirez. Do you
Okay.
guys know about him?
I
No.
don't think I do.
He was also known as the Night Stalker as well.
Now, that sounds like a comic book name right there.
He was born in 1960 in Texas, a.k.a. the Night Stalker, was an American serial killer, rapist, and burglar. His highly publicized home invasion crime spree terrorized the residents of the greater Los Angeles area, and later the residents of San Francisco. From June 84 until August 85, prior to his capture, Ramirez was dubbed the Night Stalker by the news media. He used a wide variety of weapons, including handguns, knives, machete, a tire iron, and a hammer. Ramirez, who was an avowed Satanist, never expressed any remorse for his crimes. Now I'm going to go back to this Satanist thing. This is in the 80s where there was the whole satanic panic thing going on. So I don't know if that had anything to really do with it. Him being a Satanist. I don't know if that had anything to do with his crime spree. I think I think he was just trying to be cool.
All right.
I don't know for sure though. The judge who upheld his 13-death sentence remarked that Ramirez's deeds exhibited cruelty, callousness, and viciousness beyond any human understanding. He also had like zero remorse for what he did. This is another example of one of his MO. On June 28th, 84, 79-year-old Jenny Vinco was found brutally murdered in her apartment in some city.
79.
Yeah,
She couldn't even defend herself.
She had been stabbed repeatedly while asleep in her bed, and her throat slashed so deeply that she was nearly decapitated. Ramirez's fingerprint was found on a mesh screen he removed to gain access through an open window. Let's do product process. This one's pretty cut
It
and
doesn't
dry.
sound like he's collecting anything.
No, that sounds straight up process killer.
Yeah.
It's actually a fun story here. Well, first let me go to his death. Ramirez died of complications from B-cell lymphoma while awaiting execution on California's death row.
In the B cell? He got lymphoma in the B cell?
No, it said from B-cell lymphoma.
I know.
I don't know.
The lymphoma that was in the B cell. The
I
A cell
guess.
didn't have it. The D cell didn't have it.
No. Okay, so here's a fun story
You're
here.
adorable.
This is kind of neat, and they should definitely make a movie out of this. Okay, so Los Angeles knew about this Night Stalker guy. They knew about Richard Ramirez. They knew that he was just terrorizing Los Angeles and San Francisco eventually. He was all over the news, all over the media, until finally he was literally just walking down a street one day in a residential area, and somebody said, "That's Richard Ramirez."
Oh, shit.
And somebody said, "Where?" And somebody goes, "Walking right there. Let's go fucking get him." So no shit. He had probably So he saw that and saw a few guys running after him. He took off. So he's running down in this residential area. It eventually turns into probably like 100 people chasing this guy down. And they do catch him. They catch him and
Worst
beat the fuck out
nightmare
of him.
ever.
Yeah. They beat the shit out of him until finally the police showed up and arrested him.
Can you imagine if that really wasn't him? It's like, my name is Jose, leave me alone. I don't know why I went Hispanic there, but Ramirez.
Yeah, no, he's Hispanic. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he might have been Mexican. I can't remember, but
I just look like him.
oh, we all look alike, eh?
Racist.
Yeah, but he basically got the fuck beat out of him by like 100 fucking people.
Jesus
pretty
Christ.
fucking cool.
I'm surprised he lived through that.
Yeah, I am too. But he did. But of course, he died from B-cell lymphoma.
That B cell.
Kind of fun little story. Moving on. Number 2.
2.
Duh.
Duh. Number
Duh.
duh is Ted Kaczynski,
Ooh, okay.
also known as Crickets, the Unabomber. Yeah.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to say it.
Oh,
Fuck.
Okay, he was born in Illinois in 1942, aka Unabomber. Do you know why he was called the Unabomber?
Because he bombed by himself? I don't know.
Okay, it's not UNI bomber, it's UNA bomber.
Oh, because he wore a unitard?
Unicorn.
Unicycle.
Yeah, that's
he
still
rode up to his crimes on a unicycle.
It's still UNI. No, it's not UNI sex. Sorry, it's from
It's all of them together.
It's UNA bomber.
Una. What else is UNA?
United.
Okay, it's a combination of 3 words put together.
Can you hand me that?
That's
under
what
there?
I was trying to figure out.
What do you need?
Can you hand me that piece of paper under there?
Ugly. Nerd.
Underwear? Is that what you're trying to get? Okay. Okay, I'll just tell you. Okay, Unabomber stands for
Ugly nerd afros.
No,
Oh.
stands for University and Airline Bomber.
Oh.
That's kind of odd.
Well, what he did? Okay, first of all, Ted Kaczynski, super brilliant guy, super smart. He graduated from Harvard.
Sure.
And he also, I forget the other school he graduated or has another degree from. Well, let's read his backstory. Okay, so Kaczynski was born and raised in Illinois. While growing up in Evergreen Park, he was a child prodigy. Excelling academically from an early age, Kaczynski was accepted into Harvard at the age of 16, where he earned an undergraduate degree. He subsequently earned a PhD in math from the University of Michigan. That's the other one. He became an assistant professor at the University of California, Berkeley in 1967 at the age of 25. He resigned 2 years later. Okay, so he was famous for mail bombs. He used to send bombs and mails to universities and shit like that. The first mail bomb was sent in May 1978 to materials engineering professor Buckley Christ at Northwestern University. On May 25th, the package was found in a parking lot at the University of Illinois in Chicago with Christ's return address. The package was returned to Chris, but when Chris received the package, he noticed that it was not addressed in his own handwriting. Suspicious of a package that he had not sent, he contacted a campus police officer who opened the package, which exploded immediately. That was the officer. The officer required medical assistance at a hospital for his injuries to his left hand. So that's the kind of shit he did. Like, he'd always set off like anonymous bombs or whatever. I remember seeing an Unsolved Mysteries episode back before he was even caught, talking about the Unabomber and they had some like reenactments of him like leaving a little one like in a parking lot somewhere, and somebody actually witnessed that one and saw him do it. That's how we have that drawing of him with the hoodie and the glasses and all that shit. But I don't remember. I think that one actually went off by a passerby too. Any questions on that one?
He's a process killer. He doesn't need
I would
anything to
definitely
take
say
away.
that.
Yeah. Process.
He's currently still serving 8 life terms without parole. So.
Nice. Good. Lock his ass up.
Indeed. Leaves us number 1. These are no particular order, by the way.
Damn it. I was close.
Yes.
Una.
Un, da,
Una.
trois,
Uno.
quatre, cinq.
Unabomber.
You and I, Bomber. All right, so these are in no particular order, so it's not like I love this one the best or anything. It's just
Sure.
happens to be number one. The Zodiac Killer.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this one.
Okay, this one I had to gather info pretty quickly here, and I actually didn't know a whole lot about. I know a little bit about this one, but not as much as the other ones. So the Zodiac Killer was a serial killer who operated in Northern California in the late 1960s and early 70s. The killer's identity still remains unknown. The Zodiac murdered victims between December 68 to October 69 by shooting and stabbing his victims. 4 men and 3 women between the ages of 16 and 29 were targeted. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Just shooting and stabbing, that doesn't sound like something that would necessarily be repetitive. You know what I mean? That could have been coincidental.
Most serial killers like the whole stabbing thing or strangling, something very intimate usually.
Something
like with
where they
Eileen
die.
Wuornos. Eileen Wuornos, she always used a gun. Like, and that's not really an MO for a serial killer, you know.
Yeah, no, true.
The killer originated the name Zodiac in a series of taunting letters sent by the local Bay Area press, or sent to the press. These letters included 4 cryptograms. Of the 4 cryptograms sent, only 1 has been solved. So there's still 3 that have not been solved yet.
Wow.
5 confirmed deaths, possibly up to 20 to 28. I don't understand that, but because of course they can't rule out. I guess some people were also claiming they were the Zodiac, but then turned out that they weren't. And
There could also be a lot of unsolved crimes,
cold cases
that
and stuff like that.
have a
yeah.
little hint of something close to
Right.
that.
They could have been copycat killers too,
Yeah.
and you know.
There could be no Zodiac killer.
Shooting and
It
stabbing.
could have all been a hoax, and then people just played along. And
Shooting and stabbing is pretty. I mean, that's pretty common. You know, if you're going to kill somebody, shooting and stabbing are
Right.
usually your 2 number 1 ways
It's
to go to
just
do it.
weird, like for shooting, serial killer shooting. I don't know.
Yeah.
The case has been cold, but was reopened again in 2007.
Ooh.
A man named Dennis Kaufman claimed that his stepfather, Jack Terrence, was the Zodiac. Kaufman turned several items over to the FBI, including a hood similar to the one worn by the Zodiac. According to news sources, DNA analysis conducted by the FBI on the items was deemed inconclusive in 2010. Product to process. I mean, it's hard to tell so far, especially with the information I gave you.
well,
But
he didn't keep
sounds more like a
anything,
process
so definitely
killer,
would
you know.
sound
Yeah, process. Agreed.
Okay, so that is the list. And also another thing I was remembering too about H.H. Holmes, I meant to mention this earlier. That was one of the theories too, saying that he could have been possibly Jack the Ripper as well.
Ah.
It's a possible theory. I don't really think that's true, but they can place H.H. Holmes in London during the time of the murders. But then again, the MOs are very different. So, whereas like as we discussed, Jack the Ripper was it was kind of debated here between process and product for Jack the Ripper, but H.H. Holmes is more of a process killer, and it seemed like the MOs didn't match.
Yeah, I hear you.
But-
That's an awesome list, though, dude.
But it's a theory. But
The serial killers is going to be a big hit. Those, whenever we have any kind of title that has anything to do with a murderer or something that's
Yeah.
crime related, you always see the numbers
true crime
spike.
is huge right now,
Yeah.
especially in the podcast world.
Yep, agreed.
Huge. So that's all I got.
It's a good list. You know who's up next out of our 4?
Me.
Andrea.
Andrea Joy.
But I don't do lists anymore.
Oh,
I
that's
said that a
right.
long time
You gonna have
ago.
Ginger come in and do one?
Maybe.
Oh, Penny can do one.
Penny could do one.
Good
She's
luck
not
doing
old
that
enough
for
to
a
come
whole
on
hour.
the show.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
What's
can't
a
listen.
podcast?
No, it's smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, Penny.
What are you
What
guys
are you
doing? You ruined
talking
it.
about?
I wish I had a character.
Ooh, I want to do a Twisted 10.
There you go, Tach. You have to
Love it.
make that one a full animated Twisted 10.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
Hey, be sure to check out our new Patreon for Twisted 10. Patreon.com/thetwisted10.
Indeed.
We're going to have different goals up there. $1 a month would be helpful, but we were going to have different goals for $1, $5, $10, $25, and $50, I think. I think those are the different goal levels.
Yes.
5,000.
Everything from you getting your name mentioned on the show all the way up to us
A mouth
actually
hug.
having you. Well, yeah, Tach will
Yes.
give a mouth hug,
I
but
will give a mouth hug for $5,000 a month.
you working with one of the cast members of your choice, or you coming in to do your own show, so you can literally buy your way on. We can be bought, Tach. I think
We'll all give mouth hugs for $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
I'll be on my knees right away. You got it.
And also check us out on Twitter at the Twisted 10.
That's Twisted 10, yeah.
Excuse me. And also our Instagram at Twisted 10 as well.
Shoot us an email to show. No, it's to
Sounds
send us
terrible on that.
And, oh, what is happening?
You got to put it on that.
It can't touch anything on the sides.
I know.
There
I
you
was
go.
trying not to.
There.
All right.
There we go.
Send us an email to thetwisted10@gmail.com for any show recommendations or comments, or you want to talk to one of us or whatever, or hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/thetwisted10. We want to hear from you guys. You guys wrote a show for us recently that Jay featured one of our listeners on.
Oh,
Whoa.
No,
Tach
continue.
almost fell out of his chair over
I
there.
just remembered something. Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going, though.
He peaked.
No, but if you if you want to participate in the show, that's what this is all about. So get involved. Shoot us an email. Send us a message on Facebook. If you like one of the hosts more so than the other, let us know. You can work with us directly to run your show. So we're happy to work with the listeners. And thanks again for giving us those 5 stars on iTunes. Those 5-star ratings and reviews, like I say at the beginning of the show, are like podcast currency. We legitimately can get some greater guests because of those reviews and those 5-star ratings. So thank you for those of you who have done it. We've got a lot of them already built up. I think there's 25 or so out there. I'll have to go back and look. Maybe that's Living Pod Carries. I can't remember. But thank you for the ones that have submitted those.
You can also catch us on Tuesday nights on Podcast Radio Network at 8 p.m.
That's right.
Also, speaking of emails, we got an email.
Oh,
I have an
nice.
email to read. Okay, this one's from Bethany. I don't know. I hate to
Say
screw your
first
name up.
You just say first names.
All right, it's from Bethany.
Hi, Bethany.
Hey,
What up, Bethany?
She goes, "Hey guys, I just listened to episode 15 about the celebrities arrested. I have the funniest story." She goes, "Randy Travis was arrested for public intoxication
Yep.
again in front of my little town in Texas, church.
Church, Texas?
No, Little Sanger, Texas.
Oh, Little Sanger,
In
Texas.
front of the church.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Texas. No knew what this town was until Randy found it drunk.
No one knew what this town was.
Until they found drunk Randy running
Yeah.
around the little white church.
He got into a fight with his girlfriend, and I believe he got lost. And she does leave a link to the story in here.
Nice.
But here's a link. It was a talk of the town for a really long time. It probably made history in my high school. Anyway, cheers.
Nice. Bethany, thank you for the email. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And so I told her, I was like, "Oh, great story." I told her I'd share the story on the show. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, no way. Thank you. Love the show." So
Nice.
that's
Yay,
awesome.
Bethany.
Yeah, so thanks for sending that, Bethany. Appreciate it. And remember episode 15. Whose episode was that?
That's mine.
Yeah, it was yours. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. That was awesome. That
was a
seems
fun
so
show.
long ago, though.
I know, right? It's over a year ago now.
She's got some episodes to listen to. She needs to catch up.
She needs to do some catch up, yeah, for sure.
She needs ketchup.
She needs to catch
Mama
up.
tomato, Papa tomato, baby tomato.
Let's
walking
send
down
her
the
some ketchup.
road. Andrea walked all over my joke.
It's okay. I knew the joke anyway.
All right, you ready to get out of here?
Yeah, man, let's get
I'm
out of
ready
here.
to get my
All right.
punishment.
Well, thank you for listening to us this week, guys. We appreciate it. My name's Adam,
And I'm Tach.
And I'm Andrea Joy.
and we'll see you next week.
Smack.
Wait. Don't hit stop on the episode just yet. Hey, this is Tach from the podcast you just listened to. And if you enjoy Living Podcariously or The Twisted 10, then you're going to love my new podcast I co-host with my lifelong buddy, Ron Caniff. It's called You're 40, Now What? It's about the trials and tribulations of turning 40 and just getting through life. So check it out on iTunes, Google Play Music, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thanks. Now go give someone a mouth hug.
Listen to the show.
Yeah, listen to the episode. A product killer for the third time is somebody, when they kill somebody, they do something with the body.
Ooh, okay.
So they like the product of having the body. Whether it's, like she said, to have something for a collection.
like
or
a diorama.
something. Yeah. And And then there's the process killer, somebody who just enjoys killing and doesn't care about the body afterwards.
Cool.
Okay, so are we ready?
I feel like an episode of CSI.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Yes. I can't do it as good as Jay. Sorry.
We're going to start with Ted Bundy.
Ooh, okay. Didn't he sell shoes and have a redheaded wife and a hot daughter?
That's Al.
That's
This
weird.
is his cousin.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Ted Bundy was born in 1946 in Vermont. He was born only to his mother. He never knew his real father.
I was going to say, a father needed to help there somewhere.
Yeah, but he never met him.
Okay.
He was actually raised by his grandparents, and he was actually told that his grandparents were actually his real parents. He didn't find out till years later that his grandparents were actually his grandparents. What?
What?
Oh, you're like looking around for something.
Thought I heard something.
Oh.
I do.
It's bugs.
Oh, yeah, that's cicadas.
Okay.
I'll cut that out. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Man, don't get distracted if I'm not looking right at you. If I
Sorry.
stopped every time I hosted a show because somebody was not paying attention, we would never get through a fucking night. Ever. Especially Jay. I'm picking on
Tach just
him.
wants your attention.
I know.
Okay, you got
Well, no, when you're going like
Well,
I'm thinking like
it sounded
something's
almost
wrong.
like her vape was hot. Like it was
Oh,
lit,
gotcha.
like going.
It's in
and
my
then
purse.
part of me looking around, which distracted him, was noticing, oh, it's right there. It couldn't possibly be that. So then I continued to look for mine. There it is. And then that derailed the show.
I'm glad we know exactly what
God.
happened.
It's a play-by-play.
So Bundy was regarded as being very handsome and charismatic.
Ooh, la, la.
Don't.
Women easily took to him and earned their trust very quickly. Now, he had murdered 30 plus women. Okay, so Bundy's MO.
Crunch, Golden Grams.
Right, that's right. They murdered them.
Oof.
The first thing I like to talk about a little bit about serial killers. Okay.
All right.
So,
This chair's noisy. Sorry.
it's okay. So, what makes it a serial killer versus just somebody who kills a few people?
They do it
Right.
more than once.
Lots of them.
They have a similar
MO
style.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
They also have to be like, if I go out and murder 6 people within an hour, I'm not considered a serial killer.
Really?
It has to be, I think, within a 3-month span or something like that.
So if you kill 6 people an hour for 3 months, then you're okay?
Then I'm a serial killer.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, as long as there's also something, tying them together somehow, So, and then another thing I like to talk about, there's 2 types of serial killers, okay? One is what's called a product killer.
Product killer.
That's for the cereal
There's-
that you eat.
Do you get toys in some of them?
There's 2 kinds. There's called a product and a process killer, okay?
Okay.
So a product killer is only killing for a purpose, like whether to have the body, to do something with the body, or to do something. I didn't do it.
The cat was rubbing it. I saw
I
her
know.
doing it. Hang on, I'll go. Carry on, sir.
Okay.
Repeat that maybe.
Okay, so yeah, product and process killer. A product killer is a person that wants the product at the end, so kills for the purpose of having a product. Or,
Like a finger?
yeah, a finger or the body itself.
Something
or,
for their collection.
Exactly, correct. And then there's a process killer where they only do it because they love killing. So, and sometimes product killers don't necessarily like the killing, but they like the product afterwards. That's what they're shooting for. And a process killers just love the killing and don't give a shit about the body or anything afterwards. Okay?
All right.
So remember that, and we're going to talk more about that as we go through the list.
Will there be a test?
Sort of.
Good
I will
question.
ask a question at the end. At the end of each one, I will go through and ask you, is this a process or a product killer?
Wait, give me the
Nope, he
Cliff's
should
Notes
have
version.
listened. Nope, he should have listened.
Ah,
Go.
What's the Cliff's Notes
He'll
version real
figure
quick?
it out eventually.
Product?
Hey guys, it's Adam. I want to take a moment and personally thank you for listening to our shows, for downloading our shows, and for sharing them with your friends. With your guys' support, we just moved the Twisted 10 into the threshold of the top 100 comedy shows in iTunes. It made it to number 99, granted, just barely crept in there. However, that's still monumental for us. Out of the tens of thousands of podcasts that are out there, that's one of the most difficult categories to breach into. Thank you very, very much for helping us to get there. If you haven't already done so, please go give us a 5-star rating and give us a review, a short little 1-line, 2-line review, letting us know that you enjoy the show. iTunes reviews are like podcast currency. It legitifies the show, it allows us to get better guests, and it allows our sponsors to really see that we're reaching the listeners that are out there. If you haven't done so yet, please go do it. We would greatly appreciate it. We've got a ton on the horizon from Dichotomy Media, a lot more on our YouTube channel, more Get Out Penny cartoons, all sorts of stuff. So please help us by giving us that 5-star rating and a little review. Thank you very much and enjoy the show.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All 3 engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to the Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle, Adam Poston, Jay Alvarez, and me, Andrea Joy.
And welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10.
Hoi, hoi.
Oh, yeah. I'm Adam. I'm one of your regular hosts. However, I'm not your host this week. Sitting over on the Lady Chase.
Hi, I'm Andrea Joy, and I am not one of your hosts this week.
Uh-oh. Jay is out, by the way. I know I'm jumping ahead of you, Tack, and
It's
all,
okay.
but Jay is out. There's no Jay this week. His tummy's not feeling very good.
Aww.
You know what, though? That's pretty good. I'm kind of, you know what? If somebody's sick,
Just kidding,
I
just
kind of prefer
kidding.
them not to come over. You know what I mean? Not to spread
Yeah.
that germ.
Yeah, I don't want to be sick. By the way, I'm
Are
Tach.
the Micans, too?
No.
Are they your gingerkin?
Hey, that's racist. All right, so what I brought a list here for us to
Aw,
break
boy.
down. Okay,
Number 10.
we're not there yet. Okay, so my list tonight. Are we at that point already? Seems
We're at
really
it, yeah.
fast.
Well, we don't have a guest to talk about what they do, where they come
That's
from,
true.
those kinds of things.
Where do you
Okay.
do? Where do you come from?
My name is Tach.
He likes long walks on the beach.
Yep.
Oh, he doesn't know burn.
And men are at night.
Okay.
I still enjoy them, just not during the day.
Okay.
And backgammon and men who aren't afraid to cry. Sorry, it's a line from Airplane. I'm a podcaster. You should check out my show. It's called The
Really?
Twisted 10 is a show I'm on,
Ooh.
as well as Living Podcariously
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
and You're 40 Now What. So check those out. And we also, the people I do a couple podcasts with, we created a cartoon that we do. It's called Get Out Penny. So go check that out on YouTube.
Wow. I'm going to go right now.
And he launches spaceship into the outer space. But, that's neither here nor here.
Yeah,
Neither here
sorta.
nor there.
Okay, so the list I brought tonight is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've been wanting to do this list for a long time.
Oh, boy.
So I hope nobody has any,
Objections?
okay.
Growths?
Yeah, I hope nobody has any gross
STDs.
STD.
I hope nobody has any...
Sudden deafness?
No.
Ooh, that's an
You
interesting
don't
one.
hope that we don't have that?
No, I do. I do.
You hope we do have that?
No, I do.
Oh, jeez.
So the list I brought.
Sudden acute deafness syndrome. That makes me so sad.
What?
That got it. That got it. I see what you're doing,
What?
too.
You guys? I can't hear anything.
Oh, boy,
Oh,
she's got it.
turn her back up over there, Tack.
Number 10.
We're not there yet.
Oh.
Okay, so the top 10 list I have tonight is top 10. What's wrong? Nothing. Okay. The top 10, I just like to throw Twisted in there because that's the name of the show. Top 10 Twisted serial killers.
Oh, I like it.
Yes, this is the heavy hitters, as they like to refer to them as.
Okay.
Captain.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hi,
Tack.
Tag.
Hi.
Jay's obviously not a host. He's
No,
not here.
Jay's not the host.
I don't have
And-
Skype up.
Are you sure?
No Skype up.
Can't see it.
I can't see it.
Nope.
Oh, I'm the host. I'm the host this week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Goddamn, it's been like, 3 months since you've hosted one of these?
Yeah. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
And I've been wanting to do one for so long, but Adam, you wouldn't let me.
You see our group calendar. It ain't just me.
I know. Okay, so welcome to the Twisted 10. If this is your first time coming on or listening to the show, what we do here,
Gross.
What we do here is we create an original top 10 list.
Number 10. Oh, that wasn't.
We're not there yet.
Oh.
We create an original top 10 list. Sometimes we have guest hosts that come in through Skype or in the studio or what have you. And we create an original top 10 list. And then what we do with that, Adam, is we take that list, we pack it up in a bag nice and tight.
Yeah.
Nice and tight. Then we put it in the trunk of our car. And then we drive.
That's exactly what he sounds like.
When I'm pooping.
Gross. And then we take that bag and we drive it from here to Kentucky.
Like a Kentucky?
Like
Kentucky.
what part? Like Frankfurt?
No,
That's
God,
Germany.
No. That's like it's like an hour east of that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And we drive it there, and then we get out and we take that bag and we hand it off. We hand it off to Billy Bob Schmeine's.
Joe Sean? Schmeine's.
Yeah.
I know the
Schmeine's.
Schmeine's.
You know them?
They run a butter churning factory.
And they take our lists. It's in a bag. They take it. You should know them. We've done this like 6 times now. And they take the Schmeine's take the list, and then they put it on a boat. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with this.
A boat in Kentucky?
Yeah, it's a lake, and they take it to the other side of the lake.
Oh.
Anywho, we bring an original top 10 list, and we talk about it, we break it down, and we just hack it up.
You know I'm going to cut out all that other stuff, right?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
Aw,
I'm not.
you're so mean.
Andrea, he looked so sad when I said
He
that.
worked all afternoon on that.
I did. Couldn't you tell?
The Schmeine's was very well thought out, wasn't it?
You don't know the Schmeine's? Maybe he should start taking this Kentucky trip.
Yeah, they're my kin. No.
Are they?
You know